reviewing things and getting everything cleaned up. So there were approximately, in January of last year, for example, there were 25 members that had to be backdated, canceled. In February, there were 15 that had to be canceled, backdated. That's not too terrible until you start doing the math and multiplying 25 times 48. So for every 10 members, that's about $500 a month that was being paid erroneously for members that didn't exist. In August, we canceled 67 members that were no longer on the payroll list. And that happens for a variety of reasons. People leave the district or they go on leave, things like that. We also added 14 members that were in the system. So you were being billed for them, but their memberships had never been sent to payroll, so that money was not coming in. The good news is we have been able to get this clean. Your membership roster aligns exactly with what is in the system. And we were also able to do all of this before the deadline to back things. So we were able to backdate everything, and PWEA is not going to be eating the cost. Essentially, that has all been able to come out in the wash, and we've been able to get that cleaned up before the deadline, because NEA doesn't put a deadline for backdating cancellations like that. So I just want y'all to know that it's clean. Our ship roster reflects what PWEA is being billed for. Current numbers, I just pulled the number right before this meeting, and we are at 3,388 members currently. We are still seeing cancellations come in for a variety of reasons. We see people come off the payroll list. That's pretty common. Financial reasons is a big one this year. We are seeing folks request cancellation, and they're voicing that it is due to the trusteeship. We do see that, but typically what we're seeing is that happens in waves, and it's a form letter. It's pretty obvious that folks are being encouraged to cancel because it's a copy paste. And sometimes they don't even change the pronouns in the form letter. They're just kind of forwarding it along. So I just want y'all to have that update. We have also seen 150 new members since the trusteeship was implemented. So we are seeing both adds and drops. And this is an opportunity for growth in Prince William. This is a great start for you guys, and I love to see the organizing that's happening coming at the school board meeting tonight. So I'm happy to answer any questions. If you have them, you can drop them in the Q&A.
Thank you. And we do have somebody watching the Q&A, and we'll try and answer those questions. And if not, we'll forward them to you, Michelle, if that's okay. All right. I do want to say, if there's any building reps on this meeting, that now that we have the formal reconciliation done, we hope to have density lists to you by the end of the week, and we'll have building list at the beginning of January to you. So we have not forgotten them. I want to spend a little time. I've gotten questions, and I'll elaborate further on some of this when we meet again in January, but I want to give you an overview, especially for those of you who weren't on the all-member meeting in August, when we had one, end of July, I think it was, excuse me. So the questions, there's 3 questions I'm going to answer tonight that I get asked a lot. And the first one is what trusteeship means to PWEA. And instead of local leaders conducting the business of PWEA, it is the trustees' responsibility to conduct the business. And this includes supervisory control over employees and representatives, taking over the books, funds, and other assets of PWEA, removing officers and staff and replacing them where necessary for the length of the trusteeship, and taking actions or steps that are necessary in the trustee's judgment for the best interest of the members of PWEA and VEA. This includes revising the budget, the Constitution and bylaws, and revising other policies and establishing some that are needed. That's not everything it means, but that's the general overview of it. And then I get asked, what are the day-to-day responsibilities of the trustee? And until there is an elected board of directors and PWEA officers, It is my job as trustee to be sure that the day-to-day operations go on as they should. This includes making sure that member rights are protected. And I'd like to thank Don and Bridget, who have done a very good job of staying in contact with members and handling their issues, paying bills and making other financial decisions, communicating with members, contract enforcement, establishing a working relationship with PWCS, overseeing the PWEA office, and continuing reviewing PWEA documents. That's the majority of what I do, along with some other things that arise day to day. And then a very often asked question is, how is trusteeship different from before? And I want to make clear that the only difference is that there are no elected officers and no board of directors. We still have building reps who are serving members. No building rep has been removed by me or anyone else or asked to resign unless they were not part of the bargaining unit. And Uniserv directors, Don and Bridget, are still addressing members' concerns and representing our members in the buildings they are assigned to. There are other issues that come up, questions, and I'm going to discuss them with you in January when we have more time for our meeting. I am sending out a newsletter every other week to all our members. We ask that you check your email addresses through VEA and make sure it's the correct one and make sure it's your home address, because some of them are getting kicked back to us and some of them have not been updated for a while. So even if you've sent it into the office, we ask you to check your information and update it where necessary. As we come to issues like the one that's going to be discussed tonight, we'll be communicating with you more frequently. So it's very important that we'll be able to contact you to let you know what is going on. When members have concerns, we've tried to handle them, and we would like to thank the interpreter who has joined us tonight for one of our members who've requested. So we thank her for her services, and we'll try to have someone available as we go forward with meetings. So to wrap up, many members say, how can we get involved? What can we do? Well, tonight's presentation by Emily is a good lesson on that. We may not have a lot of headway to deal with an issue, but we will deal with them and we'll be asking for your help. And if you can show up, if you can share what we're going to ask you to share on Facebook and with your friends and family, that would help. You can participate in Lobby Day on February 15th and 16th of next year. There was a link on my last email that I sent out, and that should work for you to register. We will reimburse members with receipts. Just so you know, we no longer have a PWEA credit card, so you will have to pay up front any cost, but you will be reimbursed as soon as you come back and fill out the form and send me your receipts. Also, the VEA-RA will be coming up April 16th to 18th. Shortly, I'll be getting a notice from VEA as to how many delegates we can have, and we'll be sending out information. And for that, we will hold an election for VEA delegates to the VEA-RA. And there are timelines we have to follow, so please make sure you look for that information. There are also, when I look ahead, some VEA summer trainings. There's leadership training in July after the NEARA, there's Summer Organizing Institute also in July. They are back-to-back dates, as you can see on the screen. And there is an ESP conference right after that. So there will be, there are opportunities to serve PWEA, and we will be getting more information to you on each of these activities and others that will arise. And as I said, and as Emily has spoken very well to, the first activity that you can engage in is helping the organization around the length of the teacher day. And mark on your calendars December 3rd if it proceeds after tonight's board meeting. So I'd like to thank you for attending tonight. I know it's not as much information that we had hoped to share, but we want to be able to allow people who contacted us that they wanted to go to the board meeting to get there, especially since it takes a while and the weather is a little rainy out there. And at the next meeting, I will explain more about the trusteeship, and Bridget and Don will have a presentation also for members. Thank you, and if you're traveling to the board meeting, be safe. Have a good American Education Week and a good Thanksgiving. And you can contact me. Bridget has put a slide up on hold of us at the VEA office. My email is lcook@veanea.org.
Yeah, it just takes for one of them to get hurt, which thank God hasn't happened yet.